Good morning. Today I'm really excited for two reasons. The first reason is I get to wear a India jersey which was handed over to me by Bhaichung Bhutia, and I've been waiting for an occasion to wear this. This is really precious. And the second reason is I get to show my book to you, and the book which was released last year, it's called The Ballad of Bhaichung Bhutia. And I'm going to be reading you the story. I hope you enjoy it. Come, gather round, folks, both young and old, to hear this great story of how a young lad from Sikkim brought this fair land of ours such glory. The heart-warming tale of one who showed us that no matter how humble one's birth, hard work and devotion can make your name spread to the far ends of the earth. From a sleepy little village in the foothills of the Himalayan snows, with gurgling streams, rolling green hills, and where the chill wind blows, was born a young lad with a big dream and a heart of gold, the story of whose life and deeds will for centuries be told. They named him Bhaichung, which means little brother, and if truth be told, he absolutely was like no other. His eyes were filled with mischief, and he just could not sit still. From a very tender age, you just knew he was licensed to thrill. He went to school in Pakyong before he won a football scholarship to TNA. It was soon evident he was a pure natural at every sport he did play. With sweat-drenched jersey, bloodied shins, and a dirty bandaged knee, to find him jostling for the ball with the bigger boys was common to see. He loved any kind of challenge and never shirked from a fight. Though often he would lose, he would always give it all his might. Not once did he ever complain or look for excuses for failure in life. He would play to win and remain optimistic even in times of strife. Ever so gentle, tender, kind and loving to everyone he met, kids as caring and affectionate as Bhaichung are really hard to get. He always remembered his manners and never forgot to say thank you and please. And what is more, he could handle both studies and sports with consummate ease. You would find him playing football on the ground at the crack of dawn, for to play the beautiful game, I guess he just knew he was born. He would always be the last one to leave the pitch after evening games, and was quick to apologize when the irate hostel warden called him names. He would practice his back volleys in the dormitory at night, much long after the dorm in charge had turned off the light. He'd willingly skip his Sunday outings to town, and even his evening tea. The football ground was the only place that Bhaichung ever wanted to be. Believe me, he had feet like quicksilver and could turn on a dime. I felt sorry for defenders who marked him. They just didn't have any time. twinkle-toed, he dribbled right past them as if they did not even exist. And oh yes, to celebrate each glorious goal, he just never could resist. Not before long, he was playing in the coveted Governor's Gold Cup, the youngest and smallest in the squad, like a cute little Pekingese pup. I tell you, he'd shake off seasoned defenders and leave them for dead. And though he wasn't really tall, he could even score with his head. His talents were soon spotted, and he was invited to join one of the big clubs. Pundits shook their heads and said he'll just warm the bench as one of the subs. But he had a dream in his heart, and he was never going to let it die. So he left home and his friends and bade them all a sad goodbye. He worked really hard. He was willing to lead a life of great sacrifice and give up all the pleasures that youngsters in their teens find so nice. In the crowded city, he trained day and night in the sweltering heat. For you see, he had a really resolute spirit that was difficult to beat. He scored many a memorable and glorious goal and was the crowd's delight. Pundits of the game now said that the future of Indian football looked bright. Remember the back volleys he had so assiduously worked on in the dark? Well, he scored them at will, as if it were just another stroll in the park. The tabloids called him the Tinky Tom Express and hailed the Wonder Boy, for with his deft skills he was able to tear even the best defenses asunder. In time, the pin-up boy of Indian football he was destined to become, for he had now grown into a strapping lad who was oh so handsome. But he was restless and was eager to learn more. Foreign shores beckoned. It was the best way to improve his own game, is what he rightly reckoned. So he packed his bags and boots and moved to Bury FC in Blighty, and was also a great success there, as all his followers could see. His visits to foreign shores included signing for 2 reputed clubs in Malaysia. He was the first inductee into the AFC Hall of Fame among football greats of Asia. Stats will record the feats he achieved and the number of goals he scored, but will never reveal the way he thrilled his fans and never left them bored. Off the pitch, he discovered a new gift as he won the hearts of dance fans, though I'm pretty certain that it was never really one of his life's early plans. The accolades kept flowing, and he won the Arjuna Award and Padma Shri. Bhaichung remained simple and humble and accepted them with all modesty. On January 10th, 2012, against Bayern Munich, in Indian colours, he did last appear. And with great sadness, we bid adieu to one we cherished and loved so dear. And though it's going to be a long, long while before his many fans ever recover, dear Bhaichung will continue to live on in the hearts of every football lover. So this, my friends, is the tale of one that I knew and loved so well, whose amazingly wondrous story that I just felt so compelled to tell. You may well ask me, what made Bhaichung so great? Some may say he was lucky and it was just his fate. Believe me when I tell you, it was hard work and his never say die spirit that brought him success, awards, adulation, glory, and everything else with it. I know that Bhaichung was driven by his deep passion and love for the game. And so what if some of the byproducts just happened to be money and fame? He knew where he came from and never grew too big for his boots. Bhaichung remained grounded and always stayed true to his roots. His heart still remains big and full of love, and he still cares for everyone. Therein, good folks, lies the true greatness of Sikkim's best loved son. Well, I'm deeply indebted to many people for getting this book together, not least of all my artist who makes this book come alive with the beautiful illustrations. He's another alumnus of Tashi Namgyal Academy, a student who I had the privilege of teaching while he was in school. He went on to the National Institute of Design, studied animation design, and I've had the privilege of having him agree to illustrate this book so beautifully.